Welcome everybody. Your topic for the group discussion is brain drain. You have 2 minutes to prepare for it, and for the discussion you'll have around 10 to 15 minutes. You can start preparing now. Okay, I think the time is up. Now we can actually start with the group discussion. Go ahead.
I am totally against the fact that our people go to other countries and use their brain and their knowledge and use it for their advantage when they can do so much good for our country.
Right. Yeah, true.
I support brain drain because I feel the people have all the rights to go move to some country where they get more benefits, have more incentives, and get a better workplace.
Exactly, because
Better
in India,
pay.
the same job, they don't get that enough salary,
Yeah.
which they get abroad.
Yeah.
So they go abroad and
Actually, the main concept of brain drain is when a government is spending some thousands and lakhs of rupees on particular people, they educate them, they train them, and instead of working in their own country, they go out and work for other countries. That is actual brain drain.
Yeah,
and for
but
that
we
thing
just
we are
feel-
against.
Yes.
Just let me
Just
complete my
complete,
point.
yeah, of course.
Let me complete my point. That is actual brain drain. So we are against that. Every individual has a right to go and work wherever he wants. But if a government is spending some money on you, spending his time, money, everything, giving you all the facilities,
Correct.
and then instead of serving your own country, you're going
Exactly.
abroad and doing it for your benefits because you want a better standard of living and all the
That's
Yeah.
why I want to cut your point.
Yeah.
Just because you're funding somebody's education, that doesn't mean that that person is a slave to you for life.
Yes,
Very
He
true.
or her,
We
education-
never-
let me please let me
yeah,
complete.
sure.
He or
Sorry.
her, whoever she or he is, has the right to decide what's best for himself or herself.
Right.
No
Exactly.
other person, just because the person has given money for the other person's education, it doesn't really make sense that you're going to do as per whatever your
And these days,
benefactor is.
education
They
is
should
a
have-
basic
Funding.
necessity
Can
of life.
Yeah.
But they should have
Giving you an
some
answer.
amount of social responsibility also.
Exactly.
Staying back
That's
in
what
the
I'm
country.
Let me complete my
They're
point. Let me
funding-
complete my point.
Let him talk, let him complete
The
it.
government does not fund each and every individual in this country. It selects a group of people who are educated, who have the potential, and they are known. Like they also know that the government is funding them because the government wants them to work for the government, for India.
You mean scholarships?
Instead of
He means
that,
scholarships.
yeah, scholarships and all. Instead of that, still knowing all these things, they go and work abroad. That is brain drain.
Can I ask you
Yeah.
how many scholarships were granted? I haven't heard of anyone
Same
getting
here.
a
Even I
scholarship
haven't
from the
heard.
Indian government.
I haven't heard deserving people getting such
Every person.
scholarships.
I've
Then
been
please
to the
update
US.
yourself on the newspapers.
No.
I've been
Seriously,
to the US.
I know what I'm
This
I'm-
thing
know
has
what
been
I'm talking
happening
about.
a lot in the past. In the recent past, it has reduced a bit.
I think
But-
every
but-
college abroad has some or the other way of scholarship. You know, half their college fees are funded
True,
through
because
some or the other scholarship.
very true, because they're a developed nation. We are still a developing nation, which is why we need the help of these kind of individuals, these bright individuals who are so educated to stay back, build resources here, because we are looking at them to multiply resources. If they go abroad, I'm sure they're sending money back to their families in the country. But instead, if they stay here, they work, then they create more opportunities for individuals like them to rise up from the earth and, help for the further development
So
of the
you're
country.
trying to
But
say
first of all,
an
they have to take
individual-
care of their family.
Yeah.
The salary factor always supersedes all the factors.
Every other factor.
If government is funding these people, these candidates, then they should always take this point into consideration that these candidates also should get better salary so that they should not even think of going
think
abroad.
of going
You know
abroad.
what? I'll tell you one
It's
point.
just the
major
better
point
infrastructure over
about
there and the money.
supporting your families. Recently in America and UK, Indian people were banned. You know why? Because they used to go and they used to call their parents there, and their senior citizens are paid for it. And here, senior citizens are not doing anything. They just sit in a corner. So this is like a money-making racket.
Do you know something? There's something called unemployment fund in the US.
Yes.
Exactly,
Even when
that's
you're
what
not
I'm talking
working,
about.
you're getting paid for
Exactly.
something like that.
What-
Whereas in India, there
They
are
call them
lakhs
there.
of people who are
That's
struggling
what
to get a
That's what
job.
I'm trying to tell. They are calling them there for purpose. On purpose, they're
Yeah, but they're not doing something illegal, right?
No,
Excuse
You
me.
have a right to fend for yourself and fend for your family.
No.
Excuse me, but all these businessmen, all these bright people that you all are talking about, should they work hard to come up or deal with the corruption, the politicians, all the dirty things that are here?
Excuse me. The people that the government gives scholarships and gives all the facilities are not the common people. They are the scientists who work for the nuclear energy, who can build all the equipments and stuff like that. These are the people that we are talking about. Not about the IT grads who complete the engineering and go. We have no problem with that. But the scientists and all on whom the government spends a lots of money. And to carry out any research, you need crores and crores of money. So after doing all that thing, if you go out, that is wrong.
But are you
So
saying
we-
the infrastructure that is available in India is the same that is available elsewhere?
What you are
It's
talking
10
about,
times
you're
better.
talking about the common man, the common infrastructure. I'm talking about the scientists and
I'm
stuff
talking about the
who
science
are not at all
equipments.
related with the day-to-day life.
Okay.
They have a separate
What about somebody like
setup.
Ambani? What about somebody like Ambani? Even he went there to do his MBA, to do his
But he
grad
came back.
post grad, and he came
That's
back.
what
He
I'm
came
telling
back.
you.
Exactly. He came back. That's what I mean. There are people like him as well.
True.
But
So
you are
that is
getting
what
it
I'm
wrong.
saying. So he
You're
has
getting the
worked
whole
for the
concept
country.
of brain drain wrong. I'm
It's
not
not
talking
that. I'm
about
just
the
saying that there are some people
Yeah,
like him.
completely.
That's
There
what
are
I'm
some
saying.
people like him, and there are some people like who go over there and they have this attitude that we are NRIs and I don't like anything about this and Indian, so Indian and everything. You know, they develop this sense of detachment that we are the
That is-
we are the elite class. That's also one of the factors.
That is a
Once you
highly
go-
personal thing. I mean,
No,
that does not
excuse me.
agree. That
Just
does
a
not
minute.
apply.
Yeah, just that I was telling you, there are people like Ambani and there are people like, see these so-called elite people and all that, okay? I'm just trying to say it depends on the individual.
Exactly.
What he or
What
she
he
wants for
thinks.
himself.
Yes.
He has a right to fend for himself. He has a right to decide his course of life. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Just
Just a
because,
minute.
yeah.
Is everybody clear with the topic, brain drain?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's basically,
Can you explain them about that topic?
I was just telling about that. The scientists and those people who are related with the development of the country, not the general common people. The businessman, every Tom, Dick and Harry goes abroad, does his MBA and come back. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those people who are related with the country for the development of the country, who do all the nuclear research and stuff like that. When the government is spending a lot of money on them, they should work for the betterment of our country and not going abroad and do it for the US.
Just because
So
the government
you
is
think
spending
that,
money,
in
the government
abroad-
should try to dictate that you have to do this for us.
Let me ask about
That is what
the
I'm saying. I'm
NASA
just saying
thing
one
that is
point,
so-
and that is it depends on the individual's perspective.
No,
that
but
is all I'm
do
saying.
you mean that
he
in
should have a
abroad
right
there
or
are
she
no,
should have a right to
potential
say?
candidates who can get trained for this nuclear or science?
They are,
Yeah.
they have
Let
their
me
own
talk about the
science.
astronauts. Do you think that technology?
But still, they want people from India, and that is why they are paying them more salary.
Paying them more salary.
Salary, it could be 1,000 or it could be 1 crore.
It's the value of
and
that
accordingly,
person.
And accordingly, your need changes.
And people in India are not given their
But then
value.
if you already have a desire to go abroad, then in the initial stage itself, you should tell the government that, okay, I'm planning to go abroad. Don't
Then
spend
initially
so
the
much
government
time
also should say that you're getting such and such salary. You
Yeah.
should be happy in that.
Mr. Karthik, you don't have anything to say?
No, I am talking about in terms of brain drain, there are a lot of more adverse effects as well. Like the one I pointed out earlier. It's you are going and wasting your energy, your brain and everything. Like the one I said earlier, there were many points. Supposedly if you go over there with your family, okay, you're using your brain, your family's all the energy is focused towards that country, particular country. Nothing is being done to this country. Similarly, they are born. Supposedly, if you give birth to your children, their children end up with confused identity. Because as you know, there's so many other factors which affect, like the communism. And what's the main thing that I would like to point out is the respect that you get in our country, your own country, which you're born, which you will never get it in the other country, foreign country.
But then when you're an NRI, don't you get respect? I think NRIs are respected more than the normal Indians are.
Even politicians are not
Exactly.
getting the same respect in India also. So
see, the thing is that eventually what happens is with the brain drain, they have studied here, all right? They're taking it out. So our country will not be able to develop. That is the issue. That is the problem basically. The government is trying. Again, of course, for example, the Indian government cannot pay you as good salaries as the American government,
it
as
has to
NASA.
work two ways.
Very
Because
true.
we are not
because
developed.
we are not so developed. Now,
So-
I agree with your point also that the families need to be taken care of. It's a bright future, all that. But it's a step by step. We need to all join hands to work towards that.
It's
If
a
we-
two-way process. It's a
Exactly.
two-way
Exactly.
process.
Or you
as
can't
said,
depend on government
if
to-
every intelligent person starts leaving and going to other country, then we would end up like a fourth world.
We'd be really down in the
Very
drain.
like
true, very
no,
true.
not third,
To
fourth or
develop-
fifth world country also. Something
See,
like
but
that.
the brain drain, I think it takes place on a very personal level because I'm getting something better elsewhere. It's an obvious thing. I will
That
go.
means you turn
Exactly.
off from your social responsibility, some sort of an obligation to the country.
Any
which
normal
you were born,
person
you mean
would.
to say.
Any
But
normal
if every
person
individual
would.
keeps on thinking like that,
If-
that
yeah,
personally
exactly.
I'll go,
The
then
country is
everyone
never
will
going
go.
to develop.
Then your country will never
It-
develop. It's
We
like
will always
it's
want
like
to
voting,
go
you
to
know.
a better country
My
which
vote
can give
won't
you
make a
better pay.
difference.
Exactly.
And the
Why
one
not
we were
just go
born
to
with,
a better
the
country?
one we were in which we were born with, in which our parents and everybody, whole family, our own existence,
Our whole heritage is
our
here.
whole heritage, our culture,
Right, exactly.
everything will decease.
But how much people in India stick with the heritage? I don't think so.
Nowadays,
Heritage is a
nowadays,
different thing. I'm talking about developing
That
your
means
whole
you-
country. Are you supporting that tomorrow if
Well,
you don't have
not-
light at your place?
Well, not
instead
all
of
candidates are
trying
going
to
abroad.
get light in
There
your
are-
place,
so
you are ready
I-
to give
there are
light
many
to others'
candidates.
place.
There are many candidates
One
and there are
minute,
many
Kanchan.
educated.
Let Chandrika also.
So I was just saying one thing, and that is you just have one life to live for, right? And so won't you just think of how you can better that life?
But
So
why
why,
not-
if you're
why
getting
not-
a
why not
better
think of
position,
bettering the
a
whole
better,
country?
that's perfectly fine. But
Do
I'm
it
just,
here, why not
as
do
she
it
said,
here?
that is
If
what I'm
everyone,
saying.
if everyone,
Let
is
me
work
finish,
hard-
please.
Can I just cut your point?
Yeah, yeah.
There are many educated women, teachers,
Yeah.
who are still teaching in Anganwadi. They are just getting pay of maybe 3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah, 3,000.
They deserve to get at least 1 lakh salary.
Right.
But still they are spending their whole life in Anganwadi to teach the small
So,
children.
yeah,
who
just for
who
that
cannot tell me
betterment.
why is
So,
this happening?
It is also
Why
helping
is this
India.
happening?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
Why
it is,
Because
doing it.
India is not developing at that fast
Exactly, but
faster pace.
there are few candidates who are also helping India.
Very
so
true,
brain
very
drain is
true.
a-
As
brain
she
drain
said,
is not
India is a very
exactly
big country
actually
and just a few
not
number of
boosting
people
India.
should help India.
Amit, that's what I'm trying to say. She said it by herself.
Yeah.
It's very few.
Very
few
few.
are helping.
And few are going
everybody is
abroad.
going.
I'm
Yeah,
there's
that's
nothing
what we are
wrong
saying.
with that. If you
If
want
we
your
all start
own,
thinking
Yeah.
like that, if we all start thinking like that, then there will be only few, and soon there will be nobody.
but you
It's
said
just like-
you
yeah.
said
It's just
like
like-
tribal
right,
community.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
like voting, you know,
There
my
are
vote
little
won't make a
and few
difference.
are working
But you
for
said
India.
the government
Because
funds
they know,
scientists and
because they know the
astronauts.
social value.
Do you
And
think
there
it is
are
as good
others
as
who are going
NASA?
out because
What
they know
technology
that
So
can
why
they have?
why it's not there?
Because they
Because
know
we are not
that they
working
have to
here. We are
feed their
going there.
family.
We are studying here,
I
working
think
there.
the
then-
government has enough money, ample money. You know,
So
80%
they-
people pay their
Exactly.
taxes, do their
What
duties,
I see-
whatever they're supposed to.
Nowadays-
Where does the money
nowadays
go? To the
everybody is
politicians.
So
talking
the
about
roads that you get, the
crisis,
flyovers
but-
that you get, the railways that you get, where the
but
money
What
comes
about
from?
the
See,
technology? We are getting
So,
roads, railways,
every-
everything.
Just in one day, you won't get a good technology.
But why can't they
It-
go there, learn and come back? Maybe do
They're
their
not
thing.
coming back.
problem.
That's
Do
the
their
reason.
thing,
That's
earn
the
money
brain
and come
drain.
They're
back.
not coming back.
They're not coming back.
One
They're
thing.
not coming back. So
Kanchan
Okay, I
herself
just
said
want
only
to.
few
I
people
just
are
want to
working
say
here.
something.
Exactly.
You know, the government has chosen, as per your language, the government has chosen few selected people. Okay, fine. I'll fund your education, fund your education, fund your education. Just because you've got so and so marks in this
Right,
exam
okay.
and you've done well for yourself, so I fund your education. Probably that. Let me complete this. And just because that person has other dreams of going outside and settling abroad, but no, he gets an opportunity to be funded by the government, so he avails that opportunity.
Right.
Fine, because it's better for him, and at that point of time. Even today, if I'm in some college and suddenly I get to hear, okay, the government is funding me, so fine, I will definitely go in for it.
Right.
But I'm trying to talk about those people who are definitely very brilliant, very intelligent. Probably they've not done well, that well in their exams. Probably for some reason they haven't been able to concentrate, write their papers well or something like that. And they don't get the scholarship. What about those people? And
So that's
also,
what we are saying.
what about those?
And apart from this,
The government will do nothing for those people in spite of being highly talented people,
And
highly
also
qualified.
highly talented
Probably
people,
if they get an
there are
opportunity, they will do
hundreds of
wonders.
people like
But
that.
and
But
stay in
government
India.
is funding
Exactly,
scholarship
exactly.
only two.
You
If
are saying
government-
it
How
yourself.
does the government
You-
decide?
You are
That
saying
okay,
it
this
How does
yourself.
person
the
is
government
worth it and
decide?
this person is not worth it.
exactly, they have to take a certain test, those kind of results or something. But Chandrika, what happens is you get a chance to prove your worth. All right, if you're brilliant, but at that point you're not able to prove your worth. The government cannot take a big risk on you saying no, you've got less marks, I'll still fund you. You've done brilliantly, but I
I'll
won't
just
fund
talk.
you.
So That's what.
But see,
Yeah.
we're not
if
saying
government
that
is
India has
funding
only
any-
4 people that are supposed to be funded.
Right.
It has 100, 200 people, say, suppose, who are
yeah.
good enough.
Yeah.
So it has funded only 4. Obviously, these 100
Obviously.
people
So
are
if
going to go.
they are the chosen four for
You have 2 minutes to go.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So if government is funding certain, let's say 4 or 3 students,
Yeah.
why can't they make bond with them that you should not leave country
Right.
because we are paying such and such
They should
salary.
make sure
After
they do
3
it.
or 4 years, go
Yes.
wherever.
Because
And
we
if
are
you
a
don't-
developing country.
And if you don't agree to this, we can pass over the offer to some other
I
student.
don't think a
They
bond
can
has
get
to
a
be
bond like
developed,
that.
cannot understand and they are just going out and because of this brain drain problem is happening, they should
Yeah.
make a bond.
There is a
So
serious
that they
communication
will
gap,
stick to
that's
the
it.
country.
Do you think
All those
the countries
rejected
that are
people,
going
they will
back
obviously-
and, using their skill and knowledge and all their intellectual brain, are they coming back? No.
Because they are making bonds with the
See,
company.
the thing
That's
is,
why
right,
they're not
you know
coming
those
back.
people who
But
don't
She's
what I'm
absolutely
saying is-
right.
but
It
what
happens
about
that
the
way.
country? That means you just, for your own sake, you mean to say you forget about where you come from, who are you, and what's your identity? Oh, I forget. I'll change my
See,
name.
you're making it into a social crime.
Nikita,
It's not a social
that
crime.
the government
What
is
I
not
said
doing
that
anything.
if
Just
other
one second,
countries-
just one second.
What I said, that if
Nikita
other
was saying-
countries are
Nikita was
smart enough
saying-
to make bonds with such candidates
Yeah.
that they should not leave this country. for
All
so
I'm
and so
trying to
years.
say is-
So why our government cannot
Cannot
do this
make-
bonds?
See,
They
the
can do
people
the
who
same
are
thing.
They could be
granted,
making, they could be making bonds.
They're not.
Nikita,
If they are
you have
making
any
bonds,
proofs
then
to
the person
They're
will
not.
not leave.
I am not
If the
saying-
bond is broken, they
I am
have
not
to pay
against-
such
I am
amount.
not
You know
against
that.
the
Excuse
fact.
me.
It is, and
Nikita
the amount
was
This
is
saying
problem
that the
can
government
easily
is
be
not
solved.
doing
the
anything.
amount is in crores.
This problem can be solved, but then the government is taking no initiative
But
towards
who's ready
it.
to solve the
Excuse me.
problem?
I just have to say one point.
Karthik, the time
Yes,
is up.
sorry.
I think we should summarize the GD.
Okay. So in summary, I'll definitely say that I'm against brain drain because it's really important for us Indians to get together to develop our nations, and we cannot do it one person or two person. We need to join hands to do this. This is a good way to do it by stopping brain drain.
Nikita?
I feel brain drain is completely justified because the people who are neglected, who have lost an opportunity to stay in their country, feel let down, and they have all rights after being let down to just go elsewhere and do what is best for them.
I feel the government is spending a lot of money on certain number of people, and if they leave the country, they're doing a bit harm to the country. Instead of that, the government could have spent on other people, like you said, who are more intelligent, but they were not able to perform in the exam. So instead of going abroad, if everyone sticks around and does his own work over here, India can be a developed nation. Even our freedom fighters, they fought for our freedom, not for themselves, for us, so that we could have a better life. So similarly, if we work towards a better education, we can give our children a better life and a developed country.
I just support brain drain definitely, completely, because I just feel it depends on the person's own point of view as to what he or she wants for himself, and that's about it.
I support brain drain because what I think that salary factor always supersedes all the options and problems of an individual's life. If they have to feed their family, if they do not have any other option, even if they value our social life and heritage of India, still they have to go because they want to be something and they want to earn money.
All I can say is I am not against the fact that people go over there and make a living, but every individual has the social responsibility to come back to his own country and do something for this country, not when he comes back and is old enough to only sleep, eat or go for morning walk.
Fine. I think we had a good time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.